Hey, welcome back. You have to excuse me, the pollen is horrible today, but we're fixing to get some really good showers for the next couple of days. I want to come down here at the garden and check it out and see what we've got. I was hoping it would rain today so I would not have to water from the creek right next to the garden. And everything looks kind of wilted because of the heat today, but that'll stop once that rain starts. You would think a tomato plant is dead until you drop a cup of water on it. Now, I know that a couple of you have probably already noticed that we changed the name of the channel to The Gardening Rebel. The reason I've done it is because I like to focus on the gardening, and I love beekeeping, but I want to do videos about other things too. We're going to do some Dutch oven cooking this year while we're out working in the garden. Things of that nature. Karen's going to be more involved with us on some of her cooking that she does with fresh produce from the garden, and it's wonderful. She's an excellent cook. But one reason was because I do rebel against the new style of growing techniques. I do not believe in a lot of pruning. I do not believe in a lot of grafting. Now, take it for granted, I do have some trees that are grafted for different species of pears, and most every tree you buy now, the rootstock and the fruit's not the same, so that's the way things are going. But however, for my garden, how can I put it? I will use chemicals and I will use commercial fertilizer, but I don't use a lot. Last year our garden was 100 by 100. 100 feet wide and about 100 foot long, and I went through 25 pounds of fertilizer. Now, I only fertilize what really needs to be fertilized. I really like the ground to take care of itself, but I will help that ground build up over time with compost, chicken litter, leaves, grass clippings, but you've got to be real careful about the grass clippings, especially if they're coming from a lawn service that offers you those, because a lot of people now are spraying things on their yard to kill certain species of invasive plants or weeds, and that'll be sent right over to your garden spot, and it will kill a lot of your produce plants. What you consider safe for grass will not be safe for a garden by no means. But I started this channel last year. Well, actually it says I started in 2000 and whatever, but I never did put a video on. I was just really kind of, I don't know, at a loss for what to do, because I didn't think anybody would, in their right mind, would ever want to sit and watch somebody plant potatoes. But I'm glad I started the channel. You know, it's fun. But just look over the name change. We're still going to do the same thing. But anyhow, the 30 by 30 is coming along good. I'm actually fixing to take us over there. We've actually got seeds breaking the ground from our cucumbers. So I'm really excited about that. I think there's some squash breaking ground. Our cabbages look great. I think we're going to have a bumper crop this year. I'm really hoping. So stick around. I'm going to walk us over there, and you won't get to see this ugly mug. I'm just going to do some shots of the veggies, and then we're going to get out of here before the storm hits. So hang tight, we'll be right back. Alright, as you can tell, some of our tomato plants are putting on really well. Now remember, we just sprinkled a little bit of chicken litter in them with them. That was it. And as you can tell by the hills, I've got chicken litter around the bottom of them. Kind of when the plants start growing and it rains, it will start soaking in. Okay, now I don't want to burn my seeds up, so I'm putting it down at the base of the hill. That way when I come in here with my hoe, I can cut some of this in, the surrounding dirt, and the nutrients will leach into this hill. Okay, and look what we got coming up. Right there. And we have got some already breaking the ground. Now you see why to put 2 plants per hoe. And I will space them out. One here, and I've got 3 coming up. All right, so I'm gonna have to pull some for on. Okay. We haven't had any break on that mound yet. All right, So the tomatoes are looking good. We've got a couple of dead limbs or leaves coming up on them. They're turning yellow. That's nothing to worry about. That's just transplant shock and the fact that they haven't had water date. And there's a little bitty bloom coming on. Date. But now look at that beauty right there. All the way up through there. I'm not a small guy, but that's as big as my cap. So we are looking for some good cabbage this year. We'll make a little bit of sauerkraut and a whole lot of coleslaw. Okay. Coming up good. And here is the dreaded pest. There was the dreaded pest. So we're doing good. Looking good. But you see them rain clouds coming over through that section right there? That's what's really going to help us out. Right there. 2 days of rain. I'm just hoping it's really not like beating down hard rain. Just a good steady drizzle. That's all we need. And this garden will really start putting out. It will come to life. Okay. And there's the other garden that we finished up the other day. It's looking good. Chocolate mint's blooming like, or not blooming, but growing like crazy over there. I should have took it out. Really should have. And another helpful hint. Another helpful tip. Let's do it that way. These buckets you see lined up right here and on that side right there. Now, yes, I do have a creek right beside the tripod where the chickens are. However, I always lay buckets out on the edge of my garden to catch rainwater. Sometimes I'll put them under the tin roof over there on the shed and let the runoff get on them. But we're going to have a lot of rain tonight, so I'm going to try to catch all of the rainwater that I can possibly catch. The reason for this is next week when it turns dry, my plants will be needing to, let's just say they're going to be on a water high. So I've got to bring them down gradually. So I will have water out here, and I keep a little 2-liter Coca-Cola bottle cut. And I will go through and water every individual plant just a little bit at a time. Okay, until they get a look, because they're used to getting plenty of water in that greenhouse. You got to remember that. So they're going to look wilted. They're going to look dead, like some of the tomato plants are right now, but they're not. They're just hot. It's kind of like you getting dehydrated. As soon as they get a small amount of water, they're going to perk up. Except I do not want to water today. I'll let the rain take care of it. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24 tomatoes in this garden, and we're expecting another 32 tomatoes next week. That is a gift from a friend. I'm sorry. We got 26. 2 more plants right there. There's an example of my water packing. You can see the wet ring around it, and I watered these last night, just packed them down. And that one too. And you can see that it's not mashed by handprints or footprints. It is water packed. Just like a light rain drizzling down on it. And we've taken and planted more squash here and zucchini and some bush style cucumbers that doesn't have runners. It just looks like a regular squash plant or something like that, except it's a cucumber plant. And the stumps are slowly going away, but it's going to take a while to get this little spot shaped up, but I do believe it's going to be a good one. We will see. If I can keep the squirrels out of the seeds, I think something will grow. But now look at this garden spot. Okay, I want you to look. I did not have any kind of yeah. I did not have any kind of bulldozers, backhoes, or big equipment down here. I had that green lawnmower right there, $300 lawnmower, and an old garden tiller, and a chainsaw, and a lot of sweat. That's what I throwed out of here, okay? And I just piled it up. I don't really like to burn a lot of brush unless it's on top of the garden, but something like this can decompose, and you can see all the trash that washes down from up the creek, and I pile it up right here. And when this pile decomposes, I'll go through it, sift out all the garbage and trash that people have discarded in the waterway, and then I will shovel this on my garden spot. But this right here, this year, was that right there. This is exactly what that looked like. Now, you imagine planting tomatoes in that. So, from that to that. It's a lot of work. You gotta love your garden to do this, I'm telling you. But that just goes to show you that there's nothing you can't do with simple tools. Simple tools and a little bit of elbow grease and a lot of sweat. Okay? If I can do it, anybody can do it. I've had 9 knee surgeries in the past 8 years, and on one leg, and it gets rough sometimes out here doing all this work. And what makes my father so mad is he offers to bring down equipment, and I don't want it. I had rather do this myself, take my time and enjoy it, because every tomato I eat off those vines is worth every drop of sweat that I had to spill on this ground to get them there. So, don't be over commercialized. You can do this. Put your mind to it. Find you a little spot in your land, on your yard. I don't care what it looks like. It can be this right here in a matter of months. If you just worked weekends, it would be. So I'm out of here before we get drenched. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, leave a question. I'm really trying to hurry it up. It's lightning pretty good around here. And I look forward to seeing your videos as well. Hey, shoot me a comment. Say, hey, check this out. See what you think about trying this. I will do anything in a garden. Try something. I don't mind. I enjoy it. And who knows, I might find something I really like. I had a comment the other day about asparagus. I just don't think I'm going to like asparagus. But anyhow, this is the Gardening Rebel. Please leave us a comment and get back to us. Y'all have a great week. Stay dry. And happy planting.